Now, these are some strategies or techniques for you to write the conclusion. Right? Examples. I want you to go through on your own, and then you write down, these strategies or techniques. And you will need to reinforce what you wrote in the introduction. Let me repeat. Reinforce what you wrote in the introduction, because this will give the reader or readers a feeling of completion, and you might want to pick up a word or phrase or a part of an anecdote from the introduction and bring it into the conclusion. We'll now go on to the next section, uh, format of article. Format of article. Okay, this is how an article in terms of the format will look like. Okay, so pay attention to the format. Now, some important reiterations. As in formal letter writing and all the other situational writing tasks, you have to cover all the bullet points. All the bullet points required. To know the format. All right, so cover all the bullet points. Okay, do not miss out any of the bullet points or task fulfillment. All right, as in the previous slide, the lady was covering, her eyes and so on, because she might have missed one of the bullet points. All right, and also know the format very well. Okay, now we will have to look at writing an article. Let's prepare to write an article, and I want you to read these pointers very carefully, because it's important for you to know how to write an article. So before we write and represent, we must understand the PACC. All right, PACC stands for purpose, audience, context, and culture. Understanding PACC will help you adapt your writing to different situations. Ask, why am I writing this article? What purpose am I trying to achieve? Who is going to be my audience? And what are they likely to think about my topic? Where and when will the audience be reading this? All right, so it's important that you address all these important questions before you start to write and represent. Like the examples I gave you when I wrote the article on organization effectiveness, I was addressing the professionals, all right, to let them think about more about what an effective learning organization is. Now, if I were to share my own personal narrative, it's more to share about my own experiences as an educator. And you need to also generate and gather ideas, come up with many ideas, that you can to achieve your purpose, all right, as well as to meet the needs of your audience. So ask the various questions that are on the screen, that would be helpful, when you write your article. Now, these are pertinent questions that you will ask yourself when you're writing an article for a particular audience and to meet a particular purpose. Now, you also need to organize and elaborate on the ideas. Once you've gathered your ideas, you need to organize them and then know how to elaborate on these ideas. Okay, now we're going to go into writing your situational writing tasks on article writing. Now again, remember, I want you to read these tasks and then ask all the pertinent questions we've gone through. And there are 4 bullet points here, so you need to cover all these 4 bullet points and know how to elaborate them using Peel. You also need to add in other details that are relevant, okay, to your article writing, okay, So please read carefully and then begin to think about how you might want to write this particular article. Okay, so this is the visual text that you can extract relevant information to meet the requirements for your article writing. We have come to the end of the article writing lesson, and you have successfully completed it. All right, but do remember to know the important pointers and how to write an effective piece of writing that address the PACC, of course. All right, if you remember PACC, right, the purpose, the audience, and addressing the content, also the context, and maybe remember also the format, and also covering all the required task fulfillment. All the best in your article writing tasks.